Hello MBA aspirants, welcome to MBA 360. We have been doing a lot of videos on the top institutes in India to help you select colleges when you are looking for admissions in 2026. We have covered top IIMs and today we will be covering XLRI Jamshedpur. XLRI Jamshedpur is one of the oldest college in India. It was established in 1949. So if you remember, IIMs have come in 1960s and we have also mentioned that FMS was before IIM, so this is much before that. It was initially Xavier's Labour Research Institute, but now it has renamed itself as Xavier School of Management. Uses the abbreviation XLRI now. It's an autonomous college which gives only management programs. It's spread over 40 acres in Jamshedpur in Tata Nagar. The NIRF management ranking is 10th, but I do believe that this should be in the top 5 of the NIRF. It gets pushed down to 10th because Department of Management Studies of IITs get preference because of research and other things. In terms of total students as reported in NIRF, so here we are presenting you the data which they have filed to NIRF under a affidavit and we talk about that data. But my knowledge says that there are 240 students each in PGP, BM and PGP HRM, so that adds up to higher than this, but we are talking about the reported data. So 60% of it is boys and 40% of girls, which is a very good male-female ratio if you look at in terms of management colleges. Typically, it will range in 25 to 30% in the premium college, but for XLRI it is higher. Also because in HRM, you would see the female ratio is almost around 50%. Outside state students is 95%, so students across India are coming over to this college. Faculty is 85, so if you compare, this is better than 1:2, almost 1:9 kind of a ratio against the requirement of 1:15, so it is very good again in terms of quality of faculty and other things. Let's talk about placements. Placements in terms of the data which they have submitted to NRF. So there is a lag of 1 year in the placement data submitted to NRF. That's why we have 21, 22, 22, 23 and 23, 24 as the last data. The admitted students has been shown as 356, 358 and 385. But if you look at data, the sanction here was 480. So I don't know why there is a lack of 100 students gap in terms of the sanctioned intake and 385 was the total intake given. It's a private college, so they should have wanted to take most of the students, but then XLRI needs to explain why they chose to have 100 less students. All students have graduated. There were not many students who have taken higher studies. So as we have been talking in placements that one of the methods to show 100% placements is where students are shown as higher studies, which is not the case. So all good institutes would not have any students going for higher studies, because if you have done MBA, people normally get into careers rather than pursuing further higher education. Placed students have been 351, 357 and 382. So the placements has been 98.6, 99.7 and 99.74. So largely it is a 100% placement across, and median salaries has been 30 lakh moving to 30.24, almost the same, and a slight drop in 23-24 because this year and this drop has been seen in most of the colleges. Some colleges have remained same in 22-23 and 23-24, but then over here we see a drop of 2 lakh. But again, 28 lakhs is near the range of 30 lakhs, which is similar to the top IIMs. Moving ahead, basis institute data, which is for 24-25. The highest salary has been 75 lakhs. The average salary is 28.68 lakhs. This is similar to the median salary which for 23-24, which was 28 lakhs. The top 10% got 50.74, then top 25 40.58, and top 50%, so half of the batch, got 34.65. Basis this, if you want to look at the bottom 10% of the student, might have gone to 15 lakhs plus minus, because if you see this spread, the average salary being 28.68 and the top 50 34.65. So if you assume a normal distribution, and then this could have been, and this is the case in terms of the bottom 10 is around 20 lakhs or lower than that in top institutes also. So it all depends. We all get very interested about the highest salaries which are all advertised, but you also should remember that it is a spread which happens. Moving ahead to sector-wise placements, IT consulting and IT operations is 28%, which is the highest, And if you want to look at consulting, you have to add the IT consulting and business consulting, which is 14%. So somewhere this is in the range of 30 to 35%. And we have been talking about that consulting in the top colleges would be higher than 30% or plus and minus of that, which is the sign of a very good premier college. The moment you move from the top colleges to from tier 1 to tier 2 and tier 3 colleges, the consulting keeps coming down, even going down to zero, and the sales and marketing role and other roles get increasing. So over here you see the next highest sector has been BFSI, which is 20%, then IT services and consulting 15%, and then marketing retail 9%, and then IT, ITS 4%, and automation, machinery, manufacturing and automobile another 4%. When we look at the top recruiters in the domain-wise consultant, you have BCG, you have EY Parthanan, Accenture Strategy, Bain & Company, Kearney and McKinsey, even PwC and KPMG are among the big four. For IT, e-commerce and other online services, you have Amazon, Flipkart, Meesho, FedEx, Zomato, MediaNet, Ola Cabs and Genpact. Moving on to FMCG, pharma and real estate, you have the best of the FMCG companies: Hindustan Unilever, ITC, P&G, Nestle, Asian Paints, Marico, Mondelez, L'Oreal, Dabur and even Adani. Adani is probably for the real estate. The next big sector in terms of BFSI, you have the best of the brands like Goldman Sachs, Citi, Deutsche Bank, Barclays, and then banks HSBC, ICICI, Axis Bank, Standard Chartered. Moving on to automotive sector, you have Airtel, Bajaj, Auto, Hero MotoCorp, Renew Powershell, which is in the sector of renewable energies, Tata Electronics, Ola, Castrol and Cardeco. And in general management and conglomerates, you have Aditya Birla Group, Reliance, JSW, L&T, Mahindra, Capgemini, Vedanta, BPCL and IOCL. TAS, which is Tata Administrative Services, similar on line of Indian Administrative Services, which wherein you get a fast track growth in the Tata groups, also comes for placements. Remember, this is in Tata Nagar, so the Tata chairman is also on the board of XLRI always, and he is the head of the board. So that's advantage XLRI Jamshedpur has. We also look at LinkedIn data for looking into where the alumni of XLRIs are, and this data we have been presenting for all the top institutes. So if you go to LinkedIn and look at the XLRI alumni, you will find that there are a total of 35,000 plus alumni. 83% of them are working in India, which means 17% of them are working abroad, which is a very good number. Because we have seen in the top colleges, including IIM, ABC, SPJMR and MDI and FMS, that it has been upwards of 15%, surely above 10% and ranging going up to 20% in terms of alumni working abroad. And you would see that US has around 5%, then Dubai, United Kingdom, Canada and Germany. In India, it's largely Mumbai and Maharashtra, which is 16.7%. Karnataka, Bangalore 15.32% and Delhi NCR has 13.76%. Also note that Delhi NCR in Jhajjar, they have the second campus, XLRI, which has come up in last 2-3 years. Moving on to the weightages which is given for the selection process. XAT score. XAT is the exam Xavier aptitude test conducted by XLRI. So that is given the maximum weightage going up to 60%. You would note that in IIMs and especially in top IIMs, the weightage of CAT is below 50%. It is almost in the range of 25 to 30% for the top IIMs and maybe 40% at best in the older IIMs. So, but here the XAT score remains high in terms of 60%. You have group discussion and panel interview adding up to 25%, and then rest of the parameters in terms of the essay which you write, the academic performance profile, work experience, and they ask you to make a video which is part of it, and then the GK section in the XAT is used in XLRI admission. This all adds up to 15% for your selection. Let's talk about some of the important dates related to XLRI admission. Exam is going to happen on January 4, 2026. Then you will have the shortlist coming up and the interviews happening in February and March. Offers and waitlist comes up in April, and obviously the session starts somewhere in June. I would also like to remind you that we have done a separate video in terms of other MBA colleges other than XLRI and the Xavier's group of ZAMI institutes which accept XLRI XAT score. There are many colleges going up to almost a count of 100 colleges which accept ZAT score. Look out for that video which has been done by MBA 360. Coming to the eligibility, it is standard 3 years bachelor's degree in any discipline. And then for foreign students and NRIs, the GMAT score is used. But then we have not seen many foreign students in XLRI. And cutoff is not declared in terms of what is the cutoff for ZAT score which is used. It is dependent on the total number of applicants and other factors. Finally, coming down to fees, the fees is 30 lakhs for both PGDM business management and HRN program. Only for the GM program, which is that 1-year program, the fees is 25.8 lakhs, but that's a separate selection process and you have to apply separately for that. So in the end, I would request you all to subscribe to MBA 360. We are doing a lot of videos about the colleges, their placements, and how to go about selecting colleges for after you have appeared for the MBA entrance exams. There are videos where we have shown you what are the best colleges which you should select if you have got 70 percentile, if you have got 80 percentile in CAT, and 90 and 95 percentile. So MBA 360 is going to be one-stop destination for all the MBA aspirants, and we would be making videos which are relevant to the whole spectrum of aspirants. We are not only looking at the top colleges, we are also making videos in terms of the top 20 non-IIMs. We would also be doing a lot more colleges which are the good colleges and sharing data with you. In case you want us to cover any any colleges which you want to know details about, our team will research about it and we can make a video. Please mention about it in the comments of this video. Thank you. See you again.